Today, I'm going to show you how to build a sales funnel so that you can make money in your business 24/7, even when you're not working. And this is really important because no matter how big your audience is or how good your offer is, you will not be able to turn your followers into buyers if you don't have good marketing. And that's where a sales funnel comes in. Now, I'm going to show you step by step how you can build your own sales funnel so you can start to get those automated evergreen sales. And this is something that I'm very familiar with, having built a fully automated 7-figure online course business and earning one of these bad boys, but also from all the clients that I've helped over the years to scale to where they're making over $100,000 per month. And the first part in this process is that you need to have something to sell. You need to have an offer. And the best kind of offer that you can have is something that you can sell even when you're not working. And so that usually means some sort of digital product like an online course or a coaching program, but it could also be a service that you provide clients to help them solve a problem or achieve some goal that you are delivering with a team, kind of like how I do with my agency. Now, beyond that, you are going to have a funnel, and you have probably seen this before, but I'm going to break it down step by step, and I'm going to provide you some tips to optimize this so you can make as much money as possible, and that's going to come in the second half of the video. So when we have a funnel, we are talking about how are we turning an audience, our followers, into buyers. And it's called a funnel because we take a lot of people at the top and we put them through this marketing process, and we end up with a small amount of buyers at the end, kind of like we're funneling water through a funnel. Wow, that was bad. Okay, we're gonna move past that. So the first step in a funnel is going to be your traffic. And this just means how are you getting people into your marketing system? Now, there are a lot of ways to generate traffic, but two of my favorite are by creating a YouTube channel like this one and by growing your following, creating content on TikTok. And I'm a big fan of these platforms because not only are we in a video first society right now, but they allow you to create content that is going to reach your ideal customer and bring them in so they can get to know you and understand how you can help them so that they're more likely to want to work with you and to make an exchange of money for value so that way you can help them do whatever the thing is that you're really good at doing. Now, I like both of these platforms for different reasons. And honestly, I like to use them together because I feel like they help you kind of compound your growth to build your audience and your business. But if you only have the time to do one, I'm going to break down each one so you can decide which platform is the right one for you. So first, we have YouTube. YouTube is like the gold standard for video and building your audience online. It does take a little bit more time to build up, but what's great about YouTube is that you can create content that lives on forever, and every single video you make becomes like an employee that goes out and works for you and attracts new people to your business so that way they discover you, and you just have this slow, steady amount of traffic that just builds and snowballs over time. Now, YouTube is most well known for being this incredibly powerful search engine. In fact, it is the largest search engine in the world after Google and is owned by Google. And it's great that your ideal customers can go and search for something they need help with, and your video can pop up and they can discover you in that way and you can help them. But YouTube is becoming so much more than a search platform. In fact, the algorithm has gotten so powerful that most of my videos, including this one if you're seeing it, were probably recommended to you through the browse features. They showed up on the home screen, or they were suggested to you after you watched another video. So even if you aren't the big dog that's the established channel in your niche, you are still able to get in front of people and now more than ever get bigger growth as a small YouTuber. I also like that with the longer form content like you have on YouTube, you are able to show your personality off. You are able to demonstrate your authority and your expertise at like a different level so people can learn to know, like, and trust you and are more likely to buy. And I've experienced this myself where people discover me on YouTube and then they binge watch all of my videos and they end up hiring me in less than 48 hours from when they discovered me. It's that idea that a picture's worth more than 1,000 words, except with video, it's like way more than that. Now, what I love about TikTok is that your videos might not last as long as a YouTube video, but they still last a long time, and it is so much easier to grow. TikTok is about the only platform that you could literally be an overnight success on. Not only is it easier to get discovered and grow your audience because of how the algorithm works on TikTok, but it's actually much easier to get started as a creator on that platform. Probably the biggest reason is because you don't need an editor and you don't really need fancy editing at all to get started on TikTok. Whereas with YouTube, you're either spending a lot of time editing videos or you're hiring somebody awesome like my man Hudson here. You're either spending a lot of time editing videos or you're hiring But longer form content like YouTube not only takes more time to plan, but it takes a lot of time when it comes to editing, because sometimes your brain doesn't function like mine is right now, and it's taking me, I don't know, like 13 minutes to record what should be like a 3-minute segment. But beyond that, TikTok is like a really safe environment to test out your ideas and learn what works. You're gonna be posting every single day, and not every single one of your videos is gonna go viral or get big views. In fact, a lot of them are just gonna get 200 to 300 views, but that's okay, because TikTok gives you the ability to post and experiment and be creative and test ideas to find out what works without having to worry about whether like you have good quality content or anybody is judging you. If you create a bad video, who cares? Nobody is gonna see it, and that's a good thing. So even if it takes you posting every single day for 3 to 4 months and you create 100 or 200 videos before your videos start to take off, nobody saw all that old content. It just meant you got to practice and get better at it so you could become a good creator that could grow a massive following and generate a ton of traffic for your offers. The other thing I love about YouTube and TikTok is that you create the content, you put it out there, and then people engage with it. You are gonna get so many comments, and you are gonna be able to learn from the comments that people are leaving on your videos. It's gonna help you come up with new ideas. It's gonna help you understand the questions and the problems that they deal with. And it's gonna help you to understand the language that they are actually using. So that way when you're building your sales funnel, you can use that same language and you can enter the conversation that's already happening in their mind. And if you know anything about sales and marketing, that's really important to actually be able to get the sale. Now, the next part of your funnel is what allows you to leverage these platforms to where you can just focus on creating content that attracts the right people and then turns them into buyers automatically. And that happens through a process that we call lead generation. So turning your traffic into leads is the second part of your sales funnel. Now, two of my favorite ways in order to get leads from your traffic is using workshops and challenges, which can be just a simple, like a 5-day challenge that helps people get a result. And the reason that I like these things instead of using something like a lead magnet or an ebook is because if somebody is trying to download that freebie from you, they're giving you their name, their email, their contact information, maybe their phone number, and they're going into this sales pipeline, and you're using something like a checklist or an ebook, they're really just gonna download that thing and then they're gone. They might not even look at your emails after that, and it makes it really hard for you to sell. But when you use something really high value, like a workshop where they sit down in a video classroom on Zoom or something like that, and you are walking them through a process to help them get a result, you're able to further build that relationship and establish your authority and build the trust so that they're more likely to buy from you. Same thing with challenges. With a challenge, you are going to get them for, let's say, 5 days to get them to go through the various steps that they need to go through, the things that they need to learn in order to get the result. And so these two things give you more face time with your audience. Now, the most important thing that you can focus on at this stage is making sure that you're helping people get a result, not just giving them information. Information doesn't really have a lot of value and isn't gonna generate you a lot of leads because we can get all the information we want anywhere thanks to the internet. We can go on YouTube and watch a video. We can search on Google. We can watch TikTok videos. There is an abundance of information. But if you can help somebody get a result, even in just a small way, for free, then they're more likely to check out your product and take it seriously and consider buying from you. So when you're putting together your workshop or your challenge, you want to make sure that you're helping somebody solve a problem or take the first step to solving that problem. So I want to give you a couple of frameworks for building your own workshop or challenge. That way, when you get a lead, they're more likely to end up becoming a buyer. So let's start with a workshop. When I'm talking about a workshop, I'm talking about a video training, and you might call it a webinar or a VSL video sales letter or something like that. But I like to call them workshops because I like to put education first, and it helps me be in the mindset of providing value to my leads and making sure that I am helping them get from point A to point B. And I like to use something that I call the old problem, new solution framework. And basically it just means that we are going to start with the problem that our viewers have. We're going to talk to them about the problem, and we're going to talk to them about the way that most people go about solving that problem. Now, when we do that, we're basically saying like, here's what you're dealing with, and here's what most people do, and why that doesn't work. And so not only are we shooting holes in the solution that they've probably already tried, but we're also making them feel better because we're telling them it's not your fault that you still have this problem. You were just using the wrong system or solution or mechanism to solve the problem, and I'm about to show you a better way. And that's when you're going to present them the new solution to this old problem. And in that new solution, you're going to tell them about your way of solving the problem, the steps that you would use to solve it, the things that you would do differently, and explain why that method works versus the old method. And at the end, you're simply going to invite them to work with you. You don't need to go into all the high pressure tactics trying to sell whatever it is that you're doing. You're just going to say like, hey, if this makes sense to you and you want help, then let's talk. And then you can send them to your sales page or to book a call with you or whatever it is that you use to sell that thing. Challenges, on the other hand, are a little bit different. During a challenge, you are going to indoctrinate people into your particular system. You're going to teach them the pillars that you use to get the result or the step-by-step process that they need to follow in order to get that result. So you're going to brainstorm everything that they need to know in order to get the result, and then you're going to break it down into bite-sized chunks that you're going to serve them one day at a time. So every day you're teaching them a little bit about your process and giving them a small action item. And then you're layering these lessons every single day so that way they can take baby steps, start to learn your methodology, and get some momentum moving toward the goal that they have. Now, if you want to see one of these challenges in action and learn my process for growing on TikTok, I invite you to check out my 5-day TikTok challenge, which I just created, and you should be able to find in the description below. Now, the bottom of the funnel is where we're going to nurture these leads. And this is usually done with email marketing, but it could also be done with groups. And that could be a Facebook group, it could be a Discord. The point here is that you're building some sort of community where you can continue to engage with these people that have come into your sales funnel so they can get to know you better, they can learn more from you, and they can interact together. And you've probably heard before that the money is in the list, and that's so true. But there's something more important about getting people onto an email list or into a community than just turning them into buyers. And that's that algorithms are unpredictable, and you could lose everything that you've built if you're just building your entire empire on Instagram or YouTube or TikTok or some other social media platform. It's like building a house on sand. Because you might be able to build a lot of traffic and generate a lot of leads and a lot of community on those platforms. But one day they can change the algorithm, or the platform can go away, or they can ban you, and then it's all gone. And so while it's really important that we use things like YouTube and TikTok to build traffic for our sales funnel, we want to make sure that we are getting those people off platform. And that's happening at that lead generation phase. That's when we're collecting their email, we're building that email list, or we're moving them into a community. But the nurture phase of the funnel is also really important because although you will have some people that come in, discover you, and buy right away, that's a very small percentage of your audience. For most people, it's going to take a long time before they actually become a buyer. In fact, in my business, we use really advanced analytics, and we've seen that it usually takes somebody about 25 touches before they end up buying from us. And so what that means is that they're reading 25 emails or blog posts or listening to podcasts or watching YouTube videos and consuming 25 pieces of content before they decide,
hey, I'm going to buy that online course from Mike.
It also means that when we launch our course and we open the doors to get more people in, they're usually not buying the very first time we promote that course to them. It's usually not until the second or third launch they actually pull the trigger and buy. So that might mean 6 to 9 months down the road before they go from being like a new follower to a buyer. And so what that means is that when somebody signs up for your workshop or your challenge, you are actually going to want to use an automated email sequence to try to sell your thing to them. And you're going to use that sequence to talk about the symptoms that they're experiencing that are caused by the problem they have, to let them get to know you a little bit better and explain how you actually help them solve that problem. You want to answer all of the frequently asked questions that people have about your offer, and you want to talk about the most common objections and reasons that people bring up that they don't buy. And if you can, you want to create some sort of urgency or deadline to get them to take action. But after that automation is done, you still want to make sure that you're nurturing them. And so you want to continue to email them. You want to continue to provide value. You want to send them to the content that you create that helps them solve their problem. And the most common way we do this is through our weekly newsletter. Now, the work isn't done after you've built your sales funnel, because sales funnels are these like living, breathing things, and you're constantly going to be tinkering with them and improving them so you can grow your online business. But there's 4 simple things that you can focus on that are going to make it so much easier for you to automate and scale this sales funnel. Those 4 things are leads, profit, client results, and product improvement. You want to focus on improving these 4 things every every single day. And it all starts with leads because it is the most important part of this entire process. We talked at the beginning about how important it is to get traffic into your funnel. It's the thing that fuels the entire machine that generates the sales. So you need to be creating that content on YouTube or TikTok to generate that traffic and get those eyeballs on your brand and get people into this funnel so that they can become leads and then buyers. And building this audience and building the traffic is so important that you should focus on creating the content before you ever create the product of the sales funnel. And I'm not just saying that, I'm practicing what I'm preaching. I have put way more focus on creating on TikTok and YouTube and becoming a better creator and a more consistent creator and building my audience and paying attention to the questions and the comments that people have, and then just slowly building my sales funnel in the background. Because I know that if I had not been creating content and I just focused on building this thing, I would have this sales machine, this sales funnel, and I wouldn't know if it worked or not. And then I would have to sit and go create all of the content in order to fuel it. But instead, I focused on building the habit of being a content creator and putting out all this value to y'all, and then built that sales funnel slowly in the background so that way when it was ready and I finally put it out there, I had an audience, I had traffic, and I was able to get leads and start tinkering and improving this. So focus on the content and leads first. Next is profit, and this really just means you need to understand the numbers in your business. How many leads are you generating per month? How many sales are you generating per month? How many leads does it take in order to get a sale? What are your expenses? You need to understand how much you're earning and how much you're spending, and you need to know the numbers so you can make sure that you're being consistent with the amount of leads that you're generating and how many sales you're getting. Smart creators and business owners know their numbers, and they use that information to understand what they can actually invest in, how much money they can spend. And they also use that information to figure out how to make the funnel more profitable. They track the data at each step of their sales funnel so they can find the weak spots and improve those parts. And it's this process of analyzing your funnel and slowly fixing bottlenecks that is how you improve the profitability of the funnel. Next, they focus on client results. The best thing that you can do for your business is get the people the result that you promised them. Your sales funnel becomes so much more effective when you have client results, when you have the testimonials, when you have the social proof, when you have those people going out there and telling their friends and their peers, hey, I worked with Mike and he got me these amazing results. You should go work with him too. But it's not just delivering amazing results for your paying clients. It's also inside of your sales funnel in the thing that you're using to generate leads. If your free stuff is so good that people are getting results from it, they tell everyone. And that word of mouth is so important for growing a business. Finally is product improvement. And really, I kind of split this into two things. There's the product itself, the thing that you're selling to get people the results. And then there's the sales funnel, like the system you're using to get people into it. You want to continuously be improving that product and the journey that these leads go on to become clients. Your goal should be to get them the best results possible, to get them bigger, better results, to make it easier for them to get those results and to help them get those results faster. And you don't just want to make it more efficient and better for them. You also want to make it more efficient and better for you. You want to make your product or your program more time leveraged. You want to make your systems more automated. You want to start automating and outsourcing all of the pieces to get more things off your plate so you can focus on creating the content that fuels the entire sales funnel. And also to be able to focus more as the CEO, focusing on these four things so that way it can get better and better and become more profitable. But it all starts with creating content. And the best place to create content right now as an online business owner is on TikTok. It's the fastest way to start growing your audience and generating leads for your business. And I've put together a step-by-step guide that doesn't just show you how to grow on TikTok, but shows you how to grow on TikTok as a business owner with that focus. I show you exactly what type of content to create and how to optimize your profile to get the most sales, even if you have a small audience. So if you're ready to start creating, check it out.